Hey, what's your name?
Helen.
That's nice. You look like a Helen.
Helen, we're both in sales.
Let me tell you why I suck as a salesman. Let's say I go into some guy's office. Let's say he leaves a remote.
You hear that? That's the sound of you sucking at real estate sales. So why do most realtors suck at sales? It's not because you're lazy. It's not because you're stupid. Well, for most of you, it's not because you're stupid. It's probably because you just haven't been taught the right way to sell, or worse yet, you've been taught sales techniques from a guy who wrote a book in 1957 and died in 1993. They're outdated. They don't work in today's environment. So I want you to stick around and you'll see how to stop chasing people and how to have clients start pursuing you. But before we go any further, I want you to hit that like and subscribe button. I want you to check the info box for some amazing resources and ways to connect with me. And leave me a comment. Tell me the challenges you're having now in sales. Are you having problems cold calling? Are you having problems with follow-up? Or just having problems with people taking you seriously? All right. We've got to start with sales methodology. That has to be our first plan of attack. If you can't sell, none of these other devices or strategies are really going to help you out. You've got to learn sales. And I hate using the word scripts and techniques because scripts and techniques are canned. That lowers your prestige you seem can to your clients. Remember, when people who don't know you interact with you as a realtor, in their frame of mind, you're probably starting down here and you need to elevate your status in their mind. As soon as they start hearing techniques and canned scripts, the option closed, should I send that to your office or would it be better to send it to your home? If you're not available Tuesday in the afternoon, can we do Wednesday? Or, if you're using these outdated techniques, they probably own a company that used to train those techniques in 1994. So the first thing is we need to develop a strong neuro-emotional approach to sales where we want to get your clients to lower their sales resistance. It's not just with words, it's with tonality. So when you're meeting someone, you might, rather than use some cliche lines, you might want to use a curious tone. Hey, John, I'm just kind of curious, what's even bringing you to Charleston? Or your house is so beautiful, why are you even thinking of selling it? That kind of curious tone disarms their defenses. It doesn't sound salesy, and it's not salesy. So the first thing we need to use with tonality is to disarm your client and bring their sales resistance down. If you don't bring their sales resistance down, they're gonna have their armor up. Their guard and defenses is gonna be up, and you won't be able to have those meaningful conversations. And it's just not your tonality, it's your body language, it's your facial expressions. I'm gonna tell you this even more. When you're on your phone, I want you to use arm movements, I want you to use body language. When you're acting confused or concerned, I really want you to have this I'm not really, that seems crazy. So you're telling me that I really want you to have those expressions on your face when you're on the phone. You need to have that for that tonality to sincerely come across. Again, we want to lower their defenses, and then we're going to go from situational questions like, how many bedrooms, how many bathrooms, to more inquisitive questions like, what's even bringing you here? And, why did you decide to do that? And then after we kind of go from more inquisitive and we want to go to emotional, so you mentioned that you're in this house now, you're cramped in there, you got the two kids, they're going to two schools, and you feel like you're just gonna explode at the seams. I think that's what you said. I mean, how's that like working out for you and your wife? Like, how does that make you feel? We wanna see the emotion. And then the final step here you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna play devil's advocate. Hey, listen, John, you know, it's a hard market. Like, let's say we can't find you a new home or in your budget in the school district you're looking for. What happens then? Oh no, Oliver, no, it's not what, we have to make that happen. And again, what you're trying to go for here is from number of bedrooms, bathrooms, beyond situational to more inquisitive questions to emotional questions, and then playing devil's advocate. And what you're really doing is you're bringing in their eye this huge chasm that they've got to go over, and they need a Sherpa. You're their Sherpa, you're their guide that's gonna take them through that chasm, because they've told you, I live here, you know, it's too small. And not only is it too small, it's like my wife and I are fighting, and that makes me feel like crap. And I don't wanna feel like crap anymore, Oliver. So now they're gonna guide you through the sales process. They just want the Sherpa to make it happen. This way you won't be pushing something on them. You've got them to identify everything that needs, from the situational to the emotional to the like, hey, no is not an option. They've told you that. And when you ask that devil's advocate question, you'll often uncover a lot of objections. Better to handle those objections now than wait till the end. So again, sales methodology, you have to conquer first before we get to marketing, because let's say that you never really get a grasp of your sales methodology. You're just gonna be, you know, spending money on pay-per-click and ads and everything. And if you can't convert that with sales, you're gonna find yourself in a financial hole really quickly. All right, now that you've hopefully had some kind of grasp on a sales methodology, you need to move on to marketing. What's gonna bring in those sales? Because even the best salesperson will starve without a good, consistent flow of leads and prospects. Now, you might be saying to yourself, Oliver, I grew up in Charleston. I went to high school. I knew all these people. I am going to tell you this. I didn't even grow up in this country until I was like 5 years old, moved to Pittsburgh, lived in California. I didn't move to the low country in 2010. There is a 99% chance if you're a realtor, you're not selling what I'm selling year after year. And that's because I use marketing, and behind that marketing is great sales. Am I the best salesperson in the world? Probably not. I'm always trying to improve those skills. But you know, you need to have that marketing to bring in that lead source, and then you need to have those sales skills, and it's just not you, it's your team to convert that lead. So what kind of marketing do I use? You know, we use a lot of pay-per-click. That's Google AdWords. Now that effectiveness, it used to be great. I started doing pay-per-click in 1999 and it was phenomenal. And since then, it's just been like a slow decline down. We still close millions of dollars with pay-per-click leads. It's a long sales cycle. Everyone and their mother is using pay-per-click, from Zillow to maybe you do it like we generate our own pay-per-click. You know, we have a marketing company that we use our keywords, Isle of Palms, on the beach, Folly Beach, Kiowa. We kind of target the luxury spaces, but pay-per-click, you're not gonna get in front of the vacation home buyer, the second home buyer, the relocation client. You might be the most popular agent in town, but the guy moving here from Seattle, Washington doesn't know that. And if you can grab him from a pay-per-click ad, you've got yourself a prospect that you can convert. So again, we have pay-per-click. We also have direct mail. Now, direct mail can be very expensive, and you really have to know how to use direct mail. Direct mail is all about winnowing down your list to be as large but as small as you can get it to be. So like when we will do direct mail campaigns, we're looking at how long they've lived in their home. Sometimes we'll get the list and we'll visually confirm the home. Well, I'll have one of my assistants go and we'll confirm those 800 names to make sure those houses we're mailing to really go like that. We want to make sure sometimes we only want to mail it to people not living here. So again, the secret with direct mail is getting that list to be as accurate and as small because it's expensive. And then the other secret with direct mail is, if you can, you want to handwrite it, or make it look handwritten. If you've received marketing from me, you know it's handwritten, and a lot of time has gone into getting that. And then it's consistency. You just don't expect to mail once and get a flood of information. And then lastly, we're gonna talk about social media. Now there's two avenues for social media. Believe it or not, everyone wants to go viral, but some of your best social media, I'm not gonna go too into it here, but some of your best social media results will come from a video that maybe 200 people might watch. But for you and the person you're interviewing, maybe 20 or 30 of those people are in the position to refer you $100, $200, $300,000 worth of commission. So that's one, using social media, podcasting with other influencers, with other builders and architects in your space, how to really pull that through. That's one strategy. And then the second strategy, what you're kind of seeing here is more like thought leadership on how do you build a following and how can you monetize that? How can you change those subscribers to prospects to clients? The last thing I'm going to leave you here, and here is the bonus, and I'm stealing this from Ghostbusters. You gotta cross the streams. Let me give you an example. I call this fishing with live bait. So some of my best relationships have come from an internet pay-per-click lead that I've used, like looking in Old Mount Pleasant, or maybe looking in Folly Beach for a teardown, or maybe looking at 𝐘𝐨 for a home on a golf course. I've used that pay-per-click lead to flesh out buyers in other areas. Now, I have a huge marketing team behind you. I don't want you to think I'm the one researching phone numbers and making these calls, but fishing with live bait, how to take that pay-per-click lead, go out marketing that person, fleshing out potential buyers, trying to do a transaction there, but more importantly, seeing who might raise their hand and I might sell, even though now it might be a year or two from now. You'll identify, and then telemarketing, direct mailing those people. It sounds expensive. It is very expensive. You need a team doing that for you, unless if you're going to work, 200 hours a week. But when you can cross those streams, a digital campaign like pay-per-click or social media, grab one of those sellers, buyers, put them in touch with some potential sellers here, direct mail those people, follow them up with pay-per-click, get their email, put them on a newsletter. It's not uncommon for us to do transactions where there will be a combination of a digital campaign, a direct mail campaign, a telemarketing campaign. It went to one of my realtors, never happened, went back to the telemarketer, another direct mail campaign, another digital campaign, back to the agent, back to a transaction, and then possibly repeat transactions. You need to have those sales systems in place. If that sounds overwhelming to you, go to an organization. St. Germain Properties has it. We're not the only company that has it, but you need to go, especially if you're in the luxury space, you need to be with an organization that has those resources. That's how you're gonna get those builder relationships, and that's the last thing. You take all of this, you take it to a builder, you take it to an architect, and that's something where I excel at. If you've seen my listings around the new homes we develop in Isle of Palms and Old Mount Pleasant, you see that I have great relationships with builders, architects, designers. I didn't get that because I'm a nice guy. These looks, maybe a little bit, but not really. It's not my looks that got me this. It's me bringing the juice. I'm bringing buyers. I'm bringing sellers. I'm bringing people who want to build to architects. I'm bringing people who want to build to builders. I'm finding teardowns for builders who already have a client. So when you have all of this, you're fishing with live bait. You're taking what you have and you go get the next prospect, the next seller, the architect relationship, or the builder relationship. It all starts with sales. Then you need to bring in marketing, and then you need to cross the streams. If you want more information like this, subscribe to The Power Shift. Leave me a comment. Where are you stuck in sales? What are you having a problem? What difficulties are you having in marketing? I'd love to chat with you. We'll talk soon.